better meet all of your financial needs. Member FDIC.
Welcome back to middle school football field. The Auburn Bulldogs just punched one in and lead here 6-0 over the Orangemen. Chad Kelsey set to kick off for the second time in the game. Bulldogs need to cover a little better. Another squibber kick. That one goes down the middle, and it is picked up at about the 25-yard line. The return is right up the middle, and now Preble gets outside. Pat Cheney there, and Preble down to the 40. Preble's wide open. He's at the 20, and he's pushed out of bounds at the Bulldog 15-yard line, and slap coverage that time by the Auburn Bulldogs on the kickoff.
Well, I'll tell you, Don, we had good coverage on that kickoff right there, but it was all towards the center. We didn't have any containment on the outside like that, and Preble goes right into the middle of a pile right there, bounces off, and comes around the end. We're fortunate he didn't go for a touchdown on that.
All right, Bob, and now it's time for the Bulldog defense to get tough here. It looks like they're going to spot it at the Bulldog 17-yard line. 1st and 10 for Beatrice with 3:43 to go. We've got a couple receivers out wide here to the right. Preble's in the slot. The I formation in the backfield for quarterback Tyler Hawkins. Hawkins comes out of there and hands the ball off to Halls, and Halls does not get very much on that play. Maybe a yard. It'll be 2nd and 9 for the Orangemen.
John, Tyler Hawkins went into the line like that, and I'm sure Tyler Hawkins is a fine athlete and all that, but Tyler Hawkins got stood up, and I think he's shaken up out there on the field a little bit. We had Tony Grafton, and I think it was Brian Moody that gave him a lick out there, and I think he's saying he needs his helmet adjusted because I think he just about got his head knocked off.
All right, it's 2nd and 10. No gain on the play for the Orangemen. Big stand here early in the ballgame with 3:25 to go in the first quarter for the Bulldog defense. They've been up to the task before this season, and we'll see if they can keep the Orangemen from putting any points on the board now. The Orangemen lined up now with a receiver out wide to the right, one out to the left. And ball in motion as Hawkins comes back to pass now. His pass is up in the air, and it's going to be incomplete and out of bounds. And fairly good pass coverage there by the Bulldogs. 3rd and 10 now for the Orangemen.
Don, of course, Beatrice has the ball in 4-down territory like this, but one good thing about it, by sticking Hawkins on that initial running play like that, and then the incompleted pass follows that, they're faced with a 3rd and 10 situation like this, so our defense is really going to have to maintain their intensity, rise to the occasion, and stuff Beatrice right here.
Okay, it's 3rd and 10 now for the Orangemen. They've got the ball on the Bulldogs 17-yard line after the big return on the kickoff. And Hawkins will send 3 receivers out wide to the right, one out to the left. There's nobody in the backfield for Hawkins, and Hawkins is going to drop back. He throws the ball, and nobody's looking, out of bounds, and it'll be 4th and 10. Nobody was there as somebody missed a route, or Hawkins just threw the ball away.
Interesting formation, and I think it's real noteworthy that to point out that Sean Gibbs is in the ball game right now. He's replacing Chad Searcy in the defensive secondary, and I've been watching him a little bit, and we sure would like to see Chad Searcy playing ball, but I don't think we're getting hurt too bad with Sean Gibbs in there, because he's just a real fine all-around athlete and a smart athlete, and he's using his brains tonight.
Okay, Bob, Beatrice calls timeout here with 3:04 to go in the first quarter, 4th and 10. We'll take a 30-second timeout.
Convenience and low prices are what you will get at Brad's Hinky Dinky Pharmacy. His fast, friendly service and quality drugs will satisfy you and your pocketbook. Also, if you are unable to get down to Brad's, just call in your prescription and Brad will mail your order out to you the same day that you call. We welcome your prescription insurance card. Call Brad for details at 1-800-628-6394. Brad's Hinky Dinky Pharmacy, your full-service pharmacy.
Welcome back to Auburn Middle School football field. We're in the first quarter of this Class B state playoff game between the Orangemen of Beatrice and our own Auburn Bulldogs. There's 3:04 to go in the first quarter, and Bulldogs up 6-0. However, right now Beatrice has the ball 4th and 10 from the Auburn Bulldogs 17-yard line. And again, nobody in the backfield with Hawkins. 3 receivers out wide to the right, 1 to the left, and Hawkins is going to drop back. He's got lots of pressure, throws into the end zone, and the ball is incomplete. That time, good pass coverage by Hograve, and it's Bulldogs ball at their own 17-yard line.
Don, we had pretty good pass coverage on that right there. We had Quinn Hograve deep in the end zone covering number 30 for Beatrice. But I want to tell you something, that ball was right in the kid's hands, and he just dropped it. Quinn was doing a pretty good job of covering, but the pass was perfectly thrown. And but give our kids credit down there. Beatrice got the ball on the 17-yard line, and I think we're going to take over on about the 17-yard line. So 3 plays and out for Beatrice.
2:58 to go in the first quarter. The Bulldogs with the ball now. Kelsey is out wide to the right. Bolton wide to the left, and Pat Cheney comes back, hands off to Grafton. Grafton gets into the secondary, and Tony Grafton with the close to first down yardage. He'll have the first down right up the middle, and Bob, that fullback up the middle is really hurting Beatrice right now.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about it that Beatrice is prepared for this game as if Quinn Hograve's the only offensive weapon they need to stop, and then they can shut Beatrice down. That's obviously not true. We've had a number of games this year where we've had some of our athletes contribute to the victory just as much as Quinn has. So if Beatrice is going to key on Quinn all night, we're going to have some other backs that are going to have good nights.
All right, the ball out to the 27-yard line of the Bulldogs. A little breathing room now. Matt Unruh out to the right. Handoff again now to Grafton. And he's up the field, and another first down for Tony Grafton. This time he picks up 12 and gets the ball all the way out to the Bulldog 41-yard line. And they can key on Quinn Hograve. Tony Grafton says, "Thank you very much. I'll take my first down."
You know, the big thing about this drive so far, two long runs by Tony Grafton. We're getting out close to midfield with the ball on the 41-yard line. Even if we don't get a drive out of this thing, we're going to be able to punt the ball and pin Beatrice back pretty good, which is great considering we took over on our 17.
Kelsey wide to the right, Bolton here to the left. Bulldogs in that I formation now, and Pat Cheney comes out of there. It looked like he was going to pitch back to Hograve coming to the right here, and now we've got a little extracurricular activity going on there, but there's no penalty on the play. And Pat Cheney dropped for about looks like a 3 or 4 yard loss on the play.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I think Beatrice could have easily gotten an unsportsmanlike conduct on that call because number 89 for Beatrice tackled Pat Cheney before he had a chance to pitch, and he grabbed the ball after the play was over and threw it right at Pat Cheney. It should have been an unsportsmanlike conduct call on Beatrice.
Second down and 13 now for the Bulldogs with 1:35 to go here in the first quarter. Bulldogs in that power I, and now we've got a flag thrown, and they're going to come in and tell us here what this one's all about now. And the Beatrice players are clapping, so this one's going to go against the Bulldogs. And we've got offsides on the Auburn Bulldogs there. That'll back them up 5. It'll be second down and 18. Now Terry Fulton brings the play in, and Matt Unruh goes out. Now the ball gets backed up to about the Bulldog 33-yard line. It's second and 18. 1:31 to go in the first quarter. Bulldogs up 6-0. They come up over the ball now, the power I, and we've got receiver out wide to the right, one to the left. Pat Cheney drops back. Draw play to Quinn Hograve. Hograve up the middle with running room, and he gets the ball out up over the 40-yard line back to about the original line of scrimmage. It'll be about a third down and 11 to go here for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, you know, that draw play has just been going great for us tonight. That's the second time we've run it, and I think Quint maybe got about 14 or 12 yards on it when he ran it before. Got about 8 or 9 yards on it that time right there. With the fullback trap working well right here, you know, you think you're in a passing situation, but we've been running the ball so well. I don't think Beatrice knows what we're going to do here.
Okay, Bulldogs again in that power I. Third down and 11. 49 seconds to go in the first quarter. Pat Cheney over center and comes over on a little misdirection play. Chad Kelsey with the ball, and he gets hit at the line of scrimmage and then got away, but a lot of pursuit over there. And he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be fourth down and 10 now for the Bulldogs.
We're going to have to punt the ball away right here, but we're in a lot better shape field position-wise than we could have been when you consider we took the ball over on our own 17. We busted some nice plays through there. We should, if we get any kind of a punt like out of this at all, we should have Beatrice fairly deep in their own territory anyway.
Okay, Quinn Hograve is going to punt for the Bulldogs here. There's only 11 seconds to go in the first quarter. Bulldogs up 6-0. Hograve back to punt. Preble and Holes back to receive this one for Beatrice. 3 seconds. And the snap before the quarter ends. The kick by Hograve, a low kick, fielded by Tim Holes at about the 35-yard line. And Holes trying to break it out the right side, and he's still on his feet. He gets the ball out to the 45-yard line there. And that's where Beatrice will start first and 10 when the second quarter of play begins with the Auburn Bulldogs leading 6-0. We'll take a 30-second timeout.
The Sports Shop is proud to be sponsoring the Bulldogs playoff games, and to show their team spirit, they are offering playoff sweatshirts and regular Auburn sweatshirts for just $20.95. Also, the basketball and wrestling season is just around the corner, and the Sports Shop is offering 20% off basketball and wrestling shoes. The Sports Shop is located 1 block east of the stoplight in Auburn.
Welcome back to Auburn Middle Middle School football field here. The Bulldogs leading 6-0 as we get ready for the start of the second quarter. And Bob, here in the first quarter of play, the Bulldogs capitalized on a Beatrice turnover, and basically the rest of the quarter feeling out process, and both of the defenses, Beatrice more so than the Bulldog defense, still over pursuing. And it'd be nice if the Bulldogs, when they get the ball back here, get little misdirection plays going, maybe that reverse, as you mentioned, and take advantage of Beatrice really being hyped up here so far.
Right, you know, Beatrice has started a number of drives so far in this game in excellent field position, and they're starting this one on their own 44-yard line, which is good field position. Sure be nice to see them go 3 and out right here and keep them from driving, because they're a good ball club. They can put it in the end zone anytime.
And the wing back to the right, one receiver out wide as Holes goes in motion in the backfield. Hand off to Eggert, the fullback, and he breaks through, and he'll be out close to a first down for the Orangemen there. Number 41, Ryan Belt at the fullback. And it's 1st and 10, Beatrice at the Bulldog 40-yard line. We just started the second quarter of play here between the Beatrice Orangemen and the Auburn Bulldogs in the Nebraska High School Football Playoffs for Class B. This is opening round action for both teams. And Bulldogs, the Orangemen come up over the ball now with the split backs. Now Preble goes in motion, and option play for Hawkins. Hawkins keeps it, and he's ahead for about 8 yards on that option play.
Boy, they're really ripping some big holes in us up front right there. They're trying a lot of off-tackle stuff. The quarterback did a reverse pivot and looked like he was going to run an option, and he ducked up right behind his tackle right there. We got some big holes in our line, in our defense there. We're going to have to plug down to stop this Beatrice outfit.
Okay, Beatrice will have 2nd down and 3 as Hawkins got 7 on the option play. 11 minutes and 9 seconds to go here in the second quarter of play. And the Bulldogs up 6-0. Wide receiver out wide here to the left for Beatrice, and hand off to Holes, and Holes is met and stuck right at the line of scrimmage. He may lose a yard on the play. It'll be 3rd down, Beatrice, and again, David Grant coming through on the play, Bob, with the big stick.
Boy, David Grant's probably playing the best defensive game I've seen him play this year. He's had a great year defensively and offensively, but tonight he's made some major hits out there when we needed him. We got to get one more out of him with 3rd and 2 coming up, though, Don.
Okay, Beatrice comes up over the ball now. They'll have an I formation in the backfield for Tyler Hawkins. The receivers will be split out wide to the right here. Now the tight end comes over here on the left-hand side. Hawkins hands off to Holes. There's a penalty, and I don't believe Holes got the first down. We'll have to see what the penalty was, but the back judge is the one that threw the flag. Should be on Beatrice. Illegal motion.
Don, I don't know what you're going to do on this play, because I think it's about a half a yard short from a first down. If you decline it, it's going to be 4th and about a half with the ball on the 35-yard line, and you got to think Beatrice is going to go for it. I think we're going to have to accept this penalty.
And Coach Strittmatter told them to move it back, so they're going to mark off the 5 yards. It'll be 3rd and 8, possibly putting Beatrice in a passing situation. And so far, they've been unsuccessful with their passing game. Hawkins looking over at the sideline now for a play, and Pribble is going to bring it in for him. Jason Pribble, the wingback. The clock starts here with 10:20 to go in the second quarter of play. Bulldogs up 6-0. The Bulldog defense here with an opportunity to get the ball again here on the stop. 2 receivers out to the left and 3 out to the right for Tyler Hawkins. And Hawkins drops back now. They set up the over the middle to Kenton Peterson. Peterson with the ball, and he'll be knocked down there, but he gets a first down and a little crossing pattern. First down, Beatrice, and the ball will be spotted on the Bulldog about the 27.5-yard line there.
Well, you've got to give Beatrice credit on that play right there. They were facing a 3rd and 7 or whatever it was. They sent 3 receivers out to the right, 2 receivers out to the left, and so we had a little bit of confusion on defense right there. But one of the receivers out to the right, Peterson, came across on a middle screen. Well executed by Beatrice.
All right, now the 2 backs in the backfield for Tyler Hawkins. 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs, and Holtz goes in motion. Hand off to the fullback, and he's cut down there. We'll see who was in on that tackle, Tony Grafton.
Good job on defense right there. You know, most of the time we're shutting them down on defense. This series, they've created some big holes in our defensive line, but our defense is really playing pretty good with the exception of a few breakdowns. We got to kind of come together and put a big stick on, make a loss on a play. Beatrice is down in 4-down territory like this. We're going to need a break here some way. 2nd
down and 9 for the Orangemen with the ball on the 26-yard line of the Auburn Bulldogs. 9:05 to go here in the second quarter. Bulldogs have a 6-0 lead. And we've got Peterson out wide to the left. Quick pitch out to Holtz now. Holtz tries to go around the right-hand side there, and he'll be stopped after a gain of about 3 or 4 on the play. And somebody caught him around the shoelaces there and slowed him up. Bulldogs, make the tackle, and the ball will be spotted on the Auburn Bulldog 21-22-yard line. And again, it's 3rd and about 3 for the Orangemen.
Todd Moody just limped off the field right there, number 60 for the Bulldogs. He's, of course, an outstanding defensive tackle. We've got Shane Sherman, number 73, in there. Let's see how serious Todd's injury is.
Okay, again, the Orangemen up over the ball now in that T formation in the backfield. Hand off to Hulls, and Hulls tries to go off tackle. He's stopped. He will not get the first down, but it will be 4th down for Beatrice. He may not have gained more than a yard on that play, and it should be 4th and 2, 4th and 3 for the Orangemen. With the ball spotted just short of the 20-yard line of the Auburn Bulldogs. And again, the Bulldogs with an opportunity for a tough defensive stand. They're encouraging the crowd to lift it up and get loud here. 4th and 2, another big defensive series here. Orangemen come up over the ball in the T formation. Tyler Hawkins comes back, hands the ball off, and the running back will get through there. We'll have to see where they spot it, but it'll look like it'll be enough for the first down. We'll look for an indication from the officials here. They have not indicated anything yet. And now we have a timeout for an official measurement on the field. And this is a big measurement here, Bob, with the 4th down. Obviously, if they don't make it here, the Bulldogs take over and dodge the bullet.
I think you got it by about a half an inch, Don.
All right, they're going to stretch them out now, and they got it by the length of a football. 1st and 10 now for Beatrice from the Bulldog. Looks like the 17.5-yard line. And the Bulldog defense needs to hunker down here and get tough. Bob, the Beatrice Orangemen throwing all kinds of offensive sets at the Bulldogs here this evening.
Pretty tough defense, that too, Don. Boy, they've thrown some weird formations at us, and that's tough to make those kind of adjustments.
The wing back in the slot out here to the right, or left, wide receiver to the right. 2 backs in the backfield for Tyler Hawkins. We've got a man in motion. And Hawkins comes out of there and tries to hand off to the wingback going the other way. And the Bulldogs didn't bite on that one. And there won't be much of a gain on the play. It will be 2nd down and 10 to go for the Beatrice Orangemen.
I don't recall that Beatrice has made a passing attempt on this drive right here, Don, and previous series they haven't been afraid to put the ball up. You just kind of wonder whether they're trying to lull us to sleep a little bit with this running game and going to pop a pass on us here pretty soon.
Okay, Hawkins up over the ball now. It's 2nd down and 10 for the Orangemen. They've got the split backs in the backfield. Treble to the left, Peterson out there to the right. He's the speedster. Ball's in motion, and Hawkins comes back there to pass. Now he's going to run it up the middle. We'll see if there's no containment. Hawkins gets outside, and he's going to score. We've got a flag, and I believe that one's going to be on Beatrice. It looks like Sean Gibbs was blocked in the back, and that one may not count. They may call that one back, and yes, indeed, I believe they're going to.
Well, I'll tell you what, Don, that quarterback was almost in the end zone when that penalty flag was thrown. It was a good flag to be thrown because Sean Gibbs was hit from the behind, but I'll guarantee you the Beatrice kid did not need to make that block because the quarterback was in for a touchdown when that penalty happened.
Now it's going to take points off the board now for the Orangemen on the clip, and that'll back them up 15 yards there from about the 7-yard line. Bob, that's going to stick them back there, back behind the original line of scrimmage after they mark this one off. Oh, and a big penalty there for the Orangemen as that ball comes all the way back out to the 27-yard line. It will be 2nd down and about 15 yards to go now for the Orangemen. 6:55 to go in the 2nd quarter. A good game here so far in the first half. Bulldogs up 6-0. Receiver out wide to the left, 3 to the right. 1 back in the backfield for Hawkins. 2nd down, 15 for the Orangemen. Hands off to Preble. He's met and stuck there by a host of Bulldogs. It'll be 3rd down.
Going to have to hold them for 2 more times. It brings up 3rd and looks to be about maybe 13 or so. They're down there, of course, in 4-down territory. They're going to go for it until they run out of downs down here. We've got 6.5 minutes left right here. If there would be a way we could hold them out of the end zone right here and get a little drive of our own, Don, it'd be a tremendous turnaround in the momentum in this game.
Okay, Beatrice will come up over the ball now. It is 3rd and 13. Bulldogs playing tough defense when they need to. Peterson is out here wide to the left, 1 back in the backfield, 3 receivers wide to the right for Tyler Hawkins. Hawkins comes out of there now, and he drops straight back, looks to throw, goes over the middle, and the pass incomplete. The receiver had fallen down there close to the end zone, and good coverage by the Bulldogs. 4th and 13.
Excuse me, Don. Good coverage in the secondary that time. That quarterback for Beatrice really throws a nice ball. It looks to me like Beatrice is going to try to kick a field goal. We watched the Beatrice field goal kicker warming up ahead of time. They're definitely within his range, but the ball's sitting off, I think, a little bit on the right hash mark, so it's going to be at an angle as Beatrice attempts a field goal here, Don.
And now we've got a timeout. Beatrice with 6:11 to go in the first half of play, and we'll take a 30-second timeout. You're listening to Auburn Bulldog football on KCOE.
Christmas is just around the corner, and Four States Office Products wants you to think of them when you buy any office products for that special someone, your friends, or your teachers. They offer memo note holders, briefcases, pen and pencil sets, and desk accessories. Four States has the teachers' gifts from $5 to briefcases for $75. So when you think of office products this Christmas, think of Four States in Auburn. They're located 1.5 blocks east of the stoplight in Auburn.
Welcome back now to the Auburn Middle School football field. It's Beatrice, 4th down and 13 from the Bulldog 22-yard line. 6:11 to go. Bulldogs up. And number 3, Benji Preble, is going to try to kick a field goal. It looks like this one will be about a 42-yard field goal if Preble can make it. The snap and the kick, it's going to fall short, and it's off to the right. No good, and the Bulldog defense holds again, Bob.
Don, I'm not sure that ball was short. It looked like it was going to be short, but if it had been straight, it might have crossed the crossbar on the goalpost right there. It was off to the right, I'd say, by about 2 or 3 feet is all. So that kid's got a good leg underneath him, and as the game goes on, I hope we don't have to see him come out on the field anymore, because he can boot the ball pretty good as the Bulldogs take over. Looks to be on what, Don, about the 20-yard line?
Be on their own 20, and Bob, as you mentioned earlier here before the break, Bulldogs need to put together some type of a drive here with 6:06 to go in the second quarter of play. Bulldogs up 6-0. They're in that power I formation. Fulton out wide to the left. The quarterback, Pat Cheney. Cheney comes out of there and hands off to Hograve, and Hograve comes off tackle, and Quinn Hograve goes ahead for a good 7 or 8 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 2 for the Bulldogs.
Good power running by Quinn Hograve that time. Chad Kelsey got a real key block to spring him on this side that got him through the line of scrimmage, and Quinn got about 4 or 5 yards just on his own through good, tough running, Don.
2nd and 3 for the Bulldogs. The ball spotted on the 27-yard line of the Auburn Bulldogs. Matt Unruh brings the play in for Pat Cheney from Coach Strittmatter. Terry Fulton comes out. Again, Bulldogs in that power I. Pat Cheney over center now. He's got Grafton, Kelsey, and Hograve, and hands off to Tony Grafton. Tony up the middle, and it's 1st down for Tony Grafton. And Bob, Tony Grafton has got to have close to 40 yards rushing here in the ball game already, and he's just taking it to him right up the middle.
Don, I don't think there's any question about it that the offensive plays of the game so far have been turned in by Tony Grafton. Not that he's doing it on his own, but that fullback trap is open all night long. It's been open the whole first half. Tony's just loving this out here because he's getting more yards tonight than maybe any game he's had so far.
All right, Kelsey in the slot to the left, Fulton out wide to the left. Bulldogs in the I formation. Cheney goes back to pass now. He'll take it up and take off running, and Pat Cheney goes upfield for about a 4-yard gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 6 for the Bulldogs.
Don, that's one of the few times this year that Pat Cheney has broken away from the pocket and scrambled a little bit out there. And Pat's not the fastest kid in the world, but he got about 5 yards on that play. Anytime you can get 5 yards, it's not too bad. But he took a pretty good hit from the linebacker on that side.
He did, Bob. His intended receiver looked like to be Strittmatter, and he was covered well, so Pat tucked it up and took off. The sign of maturity here for Pat Cheney. Cheney now hands the ball off to Chad Kelsey, and Kelsey ahead off tackle. He'll pick up about 3 or 4 on the play, and it will be 3rd down and a short 2 yards to go here for the Bulldogs. 4:25 to go in the first half of play. Fulton comes in now. Matt Unruh out. Fulton will bring the play in for the Bulldogs.
Don, big play coming up right here at 3rd and 2, because with a little more than 4 minutes left right here, if we can keep this drive going and keep the ball out of Beatrice's hands like that, we've got the lead right now, so the clock's on our side. Big play at 3rd and 2 coming up.
Okay, Pat Cheney with the Bulldogs in that power I. Fulton out wide now to the left. Hand off to Hograve, and Hograve off tackle. He'll spin. He's still on his feet, and he'll be driven clear in to Beatrice Orangemen territory as the Orangemen could not bring him down. It finally took 4. 1st down, Bulldogs at the 45-yard line of Beatrice.
Quinn Hograve is probably putting on a more impressive display running-wise tonight than he has, from the standpoint that he's using his power tonight. I think what has really been so exciting about watching Quint this year is his running, his ability, his cutting, his spinning, and things like that. But he's knocking people down out there with his power, Don.
That's right, Bob. First and 10 for the Bulldogs from the Beatrice 45. Handoff now to Grafton, off tackle, and Tony Grafton ahead for 4 yards, and he took a couple of the linemen along for a joyride there. It'll be second down and about 6 to go now for the Bulldogs. They'll spot that one about the 32-yard line, maybe a 3-yard pickup. It'll be second and 7.
Don, I called a reverse play in the first quarter, and apparently Coach Stripmatter thought better not to run that play. I still think if we'd run a reverse, it's got to go. We got to run that sometime tonight, don't we?
You bet. All right, 2 tight ends, however, right now. Bulldogs in that power eye. They're just running right at the Orangemen and making them stuff it. Cheney comes out of there, hands off to Grafton. Grafton in the open. Makes a nice face, and there's a face mask penalty. Tony Grafton.
Don, that'll be stepped off after the play's over, I believe, from the spot right there. And the ball's on the 32-yard line right now, so let's see where they start stepping it off.
Either way, it's going to be a first down, and it's going to put it down inside the 30. Nice running by Tony Grafton again. He had one man to beat. He stepped on the guy, and the guy brought him down with the face mask, and that was the only way he was going to bring Tony down there.
I apologize to you and apologize to the listeners. I was kind of yelling over your play, but I wanted to make sure the officials saw that face mask, Don. I didn't want him to miss it.
That's okay, Bob. Let her rip. I tell you what, this is great fun. We've had fun all year long. They bring that one down to about the 17-yard line of Beatrice. 3:06 to go in the first half. Bulldogs up 6-0. And a nice, they'd be great to punch one in here. Bulldogs running straight at the Orangemen now. We've got snow here coming down, more than just flurries. And we've got a penalty on the play. Pat Cheney goes back to pass. And Pat Cheney gets away now. A lot of pursuit. He'll be dropped. We'll have to see what the penalty is on the play, but Cheney dropped there for about a 5-yard loss.
Don, I believe the play's still going to be first down for the Bulldogs because Beatrice had too many players out there on the field. The kid was trying to get off the field, and 2 officials saw it and threw the flag as the ball was snapped. They just couldn't get all the players off the field.
Okay, that's what he's calling now, and Bulldogs will pick up 5 on that one. It'll be first and 5. They'll move that one down close to the 10-yard line now for the Bulldogs. 2:49 to go. Bulldogs with a perfect opportunity here to punch one in right before halftime and go into that halftime locker room with lots of momentum here. They're taking it right at the Orangemen. And Bob, we've mentioned all season long, the Orangemen, they're one of the teams that were bigger on the offensive and defensive line than the Bulldogs, and they're just taking it right to them.
You know, ideally, I'd like to see us take about 2.5 minutes for the rest of this drive, Don.
Okay, 2:49 to go in the half. Bulldogs up 6-0. They'll come up over the ball now. First down and 5 from the Beatrice 12-yard line. They're in the power eye with Unruh split out wide to the left. Cheney comes out of there, hands off to Hograve, and Quint will be met and gain about a yard on the play. That time they have that one covered, and it will be second down and 4 now for the Auburn Bulldogs with the clock running just under 2.5 minutes to go in the half.
Don, we've had great success so far tonight running right up the middle in between our offensive tackles, over the guard, over the center, and things like that with Tony and Quint both. Kind of makes you wonder whether maybe we try out option play or give Quint a chance to get outside and utilize the speed, utilize his power when we're down this close to the end zone. Let's see what the call is.
All right, Terry Fulton in now. He goes out wide to the left. Second and 5 for the Bulldogs. Close to 2 minutes to go. Pat Cheney with a quick pitch, and Hograve slips down as he tries to turn the corner, and he slips down at about the Bulldog, or the Beatrice 15-yard line, and it will be now third down and about 7 or 8 to go for the Bulldogs as Quint slips down on the ground. There is snow here in the area now, and it's a little bit heavier than flurries, Bob.
Don, that play was open right there. If Quint could have made his cut right there, I think he probably would have gotten pretty good yardage. I don't know if he would have gotten into the end zone, but it sure would have been nice to see what he could do if he would have been able to keep his footing on that play right there. He's had a little bit of trouble the last couple of games keeping his feet underneath him, Don.
Minute 30 to go here in the first half of play. Bulldogs up. As Pat Cheney comes out of there, he's looking to pass now. Got the screenplay set up. There's one man to beat. Quinn Hograve, he's going to score! Touchdown, Bulldogs!
No flags on the field, Don. No flags on the field. Touchdown, Bulldogs.
Bob, we've said it all season long. We've seen that screenplay ran over and over. This time we have the 3 blockers out there, but they only had to take down one man. They took him right out of the play. Hograve scores, touchdown Bulldogs.
Don, I was afraid just a little bit that Quint wasn't going to have the patience to use those blockers out in front of him because we had 3 Bulldogs that needed to take down one Beatrice player, and I was afraid that Quint was not going to use any patience out there and going to run right by his blockers, but Quint's too smart a ball player to do that. He waited back for those blockers to knock him down, and then he just shot right into the end zone.
All right, we'll have to see here. Are the Bulldogs going to get this one, Bob, or go for 2? They're up 12-0, 1:21 to go in the half, and we've got a timeout on the field, so we'll take this opportunity to take a 30-second timeout.
The Auburn Sports Boosters Club invites you to become a club member. Your $10 membership helps provide athletic equipment, funding for the sports banquet. It provides pop for the kids after their games and meets, and a meal for the team at the end of the season. Contact Jim Summers or Becky Brady for membership. Their next winter meeting will be November 17th at the Auburn Manor. That's the Auburn Sports Boosters Club. They're proud to be a sponsor of Auburn Bulldog football on KCOE. Go Bulldogs!
Welcome back to Auburn Middle School football field. A 15-yard touchdown pass on a screen pass from Pat Cheney to Quinn Holgrave. And the Bulldogs go up 12-0 with 1:21 to go in the first half of play. And we're waiting to see if the Bulldogs are going to come out here and kick an extra point or go for two. And they're going to line up here and go for two out of that power I formation. Terry Fulton is out wide to the left now for the Bulldogs. And Cheney comes over center. He'll drop back on the option play and pitch it out to Holgrave. And there was two guys on him there, Preble. And the two-point conversion, no good. So with 1:21 to go in the first half, Bulldogs up 12-0. We'll take another 30-second timeout.
If you need a prescription filled and you want to go somewhere where the service will be prompt and courteous, go to Glenn Drug, half block south of the stoplight in Auburn. Glenn's offers accurate prescription service, greeting cards, camera supplies, and film developing. For all your prescription needs, go to Glenn Drug in downtown Auburn, where low prices and quality are a must.
Welcome back to Auburn Middle School football field. Chad Kelsey set to kick off after the Cheney to Holgrave touchdown pass. And Bob, this has been the only weak spot so far in the first half for the Bulldogs.
Going to have good coverage on this kickoff right here. We can't let them get the ball close to midfield because Beatrice has a lot of different formations they can run out of. We need to pin them back inside the 30 on this kickoff, Don.
Hulse and Preble set to receive the kickoff by Cheney, and he's just going to slip one down into the middle of the field. It's fumbled around with there by Hulse, and Hulse tries to get outside, and he won't get far this time. Number 56, Chris Hammond, with the stop right around the 30-yard line of the Orangemen.
Well, we didn't quite pin them inside the 30. We got them pinned to the 31, but I think we'll take it compared to the last kickoff that they ran back. So good coverage by the Bulldog special teams on that play, Don.
Minute 14 to go. We can expect to see some wild formations here, and the ball in the air. Bulldogs need to play tough defense. They can go in at halftime up 12-0 here in this opening round of the 1992 Class B Nebraska High School football playoffs. And we've got Peterson out wide to the left. Three receivers go out wide to the right. And Jason Preble, the wingback, is the only back in the backfield for the Orangemen. Hawkins comes up out of there now, and he's going to throw and goes over the middle and caught by the tight end, number 82, Dan Williams, one of the split ends. He's leveled there by Chad Kelsey, but he gets a first down.
Don, I'm really surprised that Beatrice has taken this much time off. They got the ball with 1 minute and 11 seconds left, and there was well under a minute when that play started. Right now, there's a little less than 50 seconds left. They're in the huddle taking their time. I'm really surprised that they're approaching the end of the first half this way.
They've got to have some timeouts left, at least one, and they could be trying to score. No timeouts left? Okay, again, the receivers three out wide to the right. Hawkins is going to go back to pass. A little pressure there, and Hawkins is going to run. Throws this one up for grabs. Holmes is open. He drops it. Holmes had it and drops it. He could have scored. And the Orangemen are shooting themselves in the foot out here this evening. That time Holmes got in behind the coverage, and a nice pass that time by Hawkins, but Holmes dropped it.
Don, you'll never see a receiver that far open in full stride, and the quarterback hit him with a beautiful pass, and you got to feel a little bit bad for that Beatrice kid because that ball was right in his belly, and he just plain dropped it after he took about a step.
Okay, three receivers wide to the right. We've got Peterson to the left, and we've got timeout Auburn Bulldogs, so we will take this opportunity to take a 30-second timeout. You're listening to Auburn Bulldog football on FM 105.5 KCOE.
If you want to make your taste buds go absolutely wild at mealtime, then go to Hardee's and order their new Frisco Burger. Their combination of bacon, tomato, onion mayo, and Swiss cheese on a grilled sourdough bread will make your mouth so happy. Head for Hardee's, located 1 block north of the stoplight in Auburn, and experience the Frisco Burger. It's an awesome sandwich. Are you ready for some real food?
Welcome back to Auburn Middle School football field. We've got the Auburn Bulldogs up 12-0 with 24 seconds to go in the first half. The Orangemen of Beatrice with the ball, 2nd and 10, and the Bulldogs must be living right this season, Bob, because there was a sure touchdown pass dropped by Tim Holes.
Don, you got to take a look at 2 plays in the first half that have just been backbreakers for the Beatrice Orangemen, and they had the series before last in their offensive drive. They had a touchdown call back because of a late hit. It was a good call, but it was still a tough break. Beatrice kid drops a sure touchdown for a sure pass for a touchdown on that last play right there. Breaks are going our way tonight, Don.
2nd and 10 now for the Orangemen with 24 seconds to go. Quick out here, and we've got flags all over. They're going to bring this one back. They're not even going to let this play stand as Hawkins dropped back and just tried to throw out to the sidelines to Tony Bell. And we've got a legal procedure against Beatrice. It'll back them up 5 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 15. A second ticked off the clock there. 23 seconds to go. Bulldogs up 12-0 here in the first half of play. 2nd and 15. Now the Orangemen will come back over the ball. And they've got 3 receivers again out wide to the right. One out here to the left is Kenton Peterson. He's the speedster. One back in the backfield, I believe, Jason Preble. Hawkins will come out of there now. Goes over the middle, runs into his own man. Now throws the ball up for grabs. It could be intercepted. No, the receiver got a hold of the ball, Halls, but he was hit there. Nice pass coverage by Hammond and Terry Fulton. And the ball was dropped. Incomplete pass with 15 seconds to go in the half. 3rd and 15 now for the Orangemen.
Boy, Beatrice is really keeping people on the edge of the seats right here. They've got the ball at, looks to be what, Don, about the 40-yard line, their own 40-yard line. But, boy, with the way that Beatrice kid throws the ball, he can put it down there 30, 40 yards with one fling of the wrist.
All right, 3 receivers again out wide to the right. We've got the one over here on the left is Kenton Peterson. Hawkins is looking for Peterson, throws the ball. It's going to be short. Almost picked off there. And the home crowd wanting a little interference there on the defense. Terry Fulton with good positioning there on Kenton Peterson. And it is now 4th down and 15 for the Orangemen.
I thought that was just a good play by the receiver on that to keep the defender from getting that ball, didn't you, Don? They both went up for it, and our kid had the position on it right there. And Peterson, the potential receiver on that play, just kind of stripped Terry of the ball. But that's a good, smart play by the offensive receiver on that.
The Bulldog defense here content to put Terry Fulton one-on-one with Kenton Peterson. Beatrice looks like they're going to punt the ball here. Bulldogs not going for the fake. 9 seconds to go in the half, and the snap and the punt. And it's a short punt. Bulldogs are going to let it drop and get away from it. That thing will go down to about the 25-yard line or so, and that's the end of the first half. The Auburn Bulldogs leading the Beatrice Orangemen 12-0. We'll take a 90-second timeout and come back with our halftime right after this. Off once, the Bulldogs also, Bob, will need to get tough on those on the special teams here in the second half of play. They've let Beatrice have a little bit too good a field position coming off of punts and kickoffs.
Yeah, let's see if we can get the ball maybe at midfield on this kickoff right here. We've got Terry Fulton and Quinn Hogreef back there, and boy, I'd like to see either one of those kids get the ball, turn their speed loose, see what kind of field position we can get out of this kickoff.
Okay, the snow coming down lightly here. I guess I don't know how to describe it. We're not in blizzard conditions, and we don't have
It's a blizzard, Don. It's a blizzard.
It is a blizzard, okay. Near blizzard conditions as the kickoff by Belt, and we've got a flag on the play. And we're going to have offsides on the Orangemen, and that'll back them up 5 yards. And they'll have to kick the ball off now from their 35-yard line. They'll bring it back and kick it off again here to start the third quarter of play. And again, the Auburn Bulldogs up 12-0 as we start the second half. And we'll talk a little bit later on in the ball game. We need to see how this ball game goes here this evening before we start looking ahead to next Monday. So we'll save that for later.
Let's not say a single word about next week.
All right. And number 3 for Beatrice, Benji Preble will kick the ball off here for the Orangemen. Back deep still, Fulton and Hogrefe for the Bulldogs, and they'll sit about their own 19-yard line to receive the kickoff here. We're ready to start the third quarter of play. Bulldogs up 12-0, as we mentioned. Preble waiting for the go-ahead from the officials, and he gets it now. He approaches the ball, and his kick is a nice high kick. It'll be fielded by Terry Fulton on about the 15-yard line, and Fulton works back into the middle. Now he cuts it back outside, and he'll get the ball out to about the 31-yard line of the Auburn Bulldogs, and they'll start off there 1st and 10 here in the second half of play. And Bob, Todd Moody back on. As you mentioned, he came off earlier with looked like an ankle injury. He's back in the ballgame now.
Yeah, I think he probably just got a little bit of a stinger. I think we ought to mention one more time, because he's given such a great effort this year. Chad Searcy is out with a shoulder injury probably for the rest of the playoffs, but he's rooting his teammates on the sideline down there, Don.
Okay, Bulldogs in the I formation, wing back in the slot, and handoff now to Tony Grafton, and Grafton ahead for about 3 yards on that play. Should be 2nd down and 7 for the Bulldogs.
Don, when you talk about adjustments at halftime, we've made reference to the Bulldog coaching staff, and I'm sure they've made some adjustments, but Beatrice probably had to make some big adjustments in their interior defensive line, because that's where we killed them a lot in the first half, was that off-tackle play, the off-tackle play and the fullback trap. Tony Grafton had a field day in the first half, and it looks to me like they've got an extra lineman in there to try to stop that, which means maybe we'll try to go outside.
All right, Bulldogs in the power I formation, and Hograve. We've just started the second half of play here, and the Bulldogs up 12-0 here in the game. And they're going to back them up to 5 yards. It'll be about 2nd and 11 now for the Bulldogs as the ball goes back to the Auburn 28-yard line. Bulldogs will come up over the ball, as we mentioned. 2nd down and 11. They lead 12-0 as we just started the third quarter. A little over a minute gone here. Fulton is out wide to the left. Bulldogs in the power I formation. Cheney comes out of there and hands the ball off to Hograve. Hograve works the outside, and he'll get ahead for about a 5 or 6 yard gain on the play. And it looks like it's going to be about 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6 for the Bulldogs as Hograve gets the ball out to the the Auburn 33, 34 yard line. It'll be 3rd down.
Don, we're faced 3rd and long right here. Normally it would be a passing situation, but I don't know if Coach Strittmatter wants to take a gamble on a pass right here. We got the ball on about our own 33-yard line. We'd like to get a first down out of this, but I look for us to go to Quint or maybe Tony up the middle on this.
Okay, Fulton split out wide to the right, and Kelsey in the slot to the right. Bulldogs with a quick pitch now and a reverse to Terry Fulton, and there's a little bit of somebody in the backfield. Now there's a flag, and Fulton does not get outside. He maybe gets a yard gain on the play, but we've got a flag, and we'll have to see who this one's on.
It looked to me like maybe it was a hit from behind on the offense on the Bulldogs on that, or maybe a hold, and they might decline that play.
Okay, we've got holding on the Bulldogs, and again, Fulton with only about a yard gain on the reverse there, and they're going to decline the penalty, so it will be 4th down and 7 for the Bulldogs, and they'll have to punt the ball away here on the holding penalty.
Don, when we punted in the first half, we weren't getting very good punts away. You know, when the weather's down to 30 degrees like this, the fingers and the feet and everything don't quite work right. So hopefully Quint, who should be punting the ball here, had a chance to loosen up real good. Maybe he can put his leg into this one, because it's awfully difficult to punt the ball when it's this cold.
Jason Preble and Tim Hall's back to receive the punt from Hograve. They're standing on about their own 34, 35-yard line. The snap, a nice snap to Hograve, and the punt high, but it's going to fall short. Takes a good Auburn bounce, and Preble gets it. Good coverage this time, and Preble only gets about 3 yards on that punt return. He'll be stopped at the Beatrice 37-yard line. They'll take over their 1st and 10 with 9:35 to go here in the third quarter, and the Bulldogs up 12-0.
Excellent coverage on that right there. Matt Unruh, Aaron Shigley, Brian Moody, all those guys were down in excellent punt coverage like that. With Beatrice's speed, that's the way you have to cover those punts, Don.
Okay, the Bulldog defense on the field again, and in, as Bob mentioned, for Chad Searcy on defense is Sean Gibbs. Chad Kelsey takes his spot on the offensive side of the ball. Beatrice comes up in a T formation with the 3 backs and a fake pitch, and Hawkins looking to pass, throws the ball downfield to his tight end, and the ball overthrown there. As a matter of fact, one of the Bulldogs, Terry Fulton, on the coverage, and he had a good shot at that ball, a better shot than tight end Travis Schuster. Incomplete, 2nd down and 10 for the Orangemen.
That's one of the best jobs of coverage in the secondary we've done all night long right there. Terry Fulton was just on him with excellent coverage right there, and I think Beatrice has really set the tempo for the second half offensively by coming out and throwing on that first play. I look for him to throw the ball an awful lot in the second half.
Okay, they'll come up over now, 2nd down and 10. They've got split backs in the backfield for Hawkins, and the wing backs to the right. Got a left wide receiver out to the right. Now the wing back in motion, and Hawkins with the fake. He's going to drop back to pass. Throws over the middle to Halls, and Halls misses this one. Would have been enough for a 1st down, but it falls incomplete, and it's going to be 3rd down and 10. And now Tyler Hawkins the Beatrice quarterback complaining a little bit about the rough treatment he's getting there after the play, and the referee just kind of smiles and walks on his way.
Don, as we've mentioned a number of times, Beatrice receivers have been open. The ball's been laid in there a number of times and just dropped. That play right there, the receiver would have made, if he would have been able to pull that in, would have made a great play on that to be able to pull that ball in. But, talk about punters having trouble. The receivers have trouble pulling the ball in when it's 30 degrees out like this too, Don.
That's right. Okay, Beatrice comes up now 3rd and 10 from their own 37-yard line. And now we have Halls in motion. Hawkins goes back again to pass. He's going to string it out. Strittmatter there, and the pass downfield, knocked out of bounds. Great defensive play. We'll have to see who made that one. 35, Terry Fulton.
I believe that was Terry Fulton right there. Let's give Sean Gibbs credit on that right there. That was a 3rd down and 10 play right there. We stopped him on that series, which is a big effort on part of the defense for the Bulldogs right there, because the way Beatrice was moving the ball in the first half, I was afraid if they put some first downs together in their initial drive down, we could have been in trouble. So good effort by the Bulldog defense.
All right, Beatrice Orangemen will have to punt. Bob, I believe that was Sean Gibbs that knocked that ball out of bounds. We better give him credit. Back to receive the punt now, Hograve and Terry Fulton. Bulldogs playing tough pass defense here to start the second half. And the snap to the Beatrice punter. We've got a flag on the play. The punt is high. It'll be received by Fulton. And he gets the ball. Now there's a fumble, but Hograve picks it up. And there's a flag back at the line of scrimmage. That time Terry Fulton did not fair catch that ball. And one of the Beatrice Orangemen was down there and hit Fulton right after he got the ball. But Quinn Hograve back and picked up the fumble.
Don, there's 2 advantages to having double receivers back to receive the punt on that. Number one, you can one of the receivers can talk to the other guy and tell him whether or not to fair catch. And I can't believe that Quinn Hograve wasn't telling him to go ahead and make a fair catch on that. But Terry, I think, wanted to return it. The other thing that's the biggest factor on a play like that, and I think we're going to have a penalty to bring the ball back and probably kick it over. But the thing is, Quinn Hograve recovered that fumble right there. And if he hadn't been back there, there were 3 Beatrice kids that would have pounced on that ball.
Okay, there was illegal motion on Beatrice, and the Bulldogs are going to decline it, and they'll take over here 1st and 10 with the ball just over their own 25-yard line. 8:49 to go in the 3rd quarter, and Auburn leads 12-0 here in the ballgame. And the winner advances on to the 2nd round of the playoffs, and the loser will end their season here this evening. The Bulldogs in the power I. The wide receiver, Terry Fulton, is out wide to the left for the Bulldogs. Pat Cheney will come over center now. 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. And Cheney again with the long count. He comes out from under center, hands the ball off to Hograve. Hograve working off tackle. He spins, and they get Hograve after about a 7-yard gain on the play. Maybe an 8-yard gain. Should be 2nd down and about 2 to go. The ball all the way out now to the Auburn Bulldog 33-34-yard line.
This is just going to be a rock'em sock'em defensive battle in the second half back here. Each team's just going at each other, just hammering away at each other. It's a good, clean ball game so far. These teams respect each other a lot out there on the field out there, but sure be nice to get a couple first downs here in a row, Don.
Okay, Bulldogs again in the power I with the wide receiver Unruh out to the left now. Cheney comes out of there and hands the ball off to Grafton. He tries to go off tackle over on the left-hand side, and he gets a little of nothing on that play, maybe a yard. It'll be 3rd down Bulldogs and pretty close to 2 to go here for a first down. The ball being spotted on the Auburn 33-yard line. 3rd down and about 2.
Excuse me, Don, as we mentioned in the first half, Tony Grafton just had a great first half. The holes were there. He ran tough and all that, but Beatrice is keying on Tony Grafton right now, and he tried to get outside the tackle, and they just stuffed him back right here. So let's see what we can do to get a first down here.
Okay, Bulldogs again in the power I with the 2 tight ends in the ball game. Pat Cheney over center on 3rd down and 3. Cheney comes out of there, hands off to Hograve. Hograve works off tackle, and it looks like he'll have enough for the first down, or it will be close. We'll have to look at the spot here. Looks like he had to get over the 35, and they spot the ball just over the 35.
Don, I think he's about a half a yard short, I'm afraid.
Okay, and we're going to have a timeout on the officials, and they're going to bring the chains out here. Quint maybe just a little bit short. This is a big play here on 4th down, or it could be 4th down or 1st. We'll have to see. They're going to stretch them out. And it's just going to be short, as Bob mentioned, maybe a football, half of a football. 4th down, and we'll have to see what Coach Strittmatter calls here. We're looking over on the sidelines now. And Matt Unruh brings in the play from Coach Strittmatter. The fans love it here. It's 4th down and a little bit less than 1 to go. Probably 6 inches would be closer. 7:21 to go. This is a big play. The ball just over the Bulldog 35-yard line. They need this first down. This is a big first down. Beatrice has everybody up within 3 yards of the line of scrimmage. Now they all move in. Hand off to Hograve. He's got the first down. Bulldogs.
Don, I think maybe maybe our listeners at home might have been able to tell by the roar of the crowd that Quint Holgrave got a first down. That's a very, very gutty play on Coach Strittmatter's part right there. Sometimes you have to have a little bit of luck when you're undefeated, and boy, we certainly had our share this year and tonight, but that play right there was just good, hard, rock-sock'em football, and Quint Holgrave got a first down for us.
Okay, ball out to about the 37.5-yard line. 1st and 10, Bulldogs retain possession with the ball here. Keep the drive alive. They're in that power I, Fulton out wide to the right for the Bulldogs. Pat Cheney comes out from under center, hands off to Grafton. He'll have yardage, enough for a first down as he gets into the secondary and just bangs into number 11. Brian hits. 1st and 10 Bulldogs.
Boy, what a night Tony Grafton's having. We just keep going to him, and they're, of course, keying on Quint Holgrave. Every time Quint goes in motion like that, they send about 2 guys to cover him, and that opens up the defense a little bit for Tony, and he's having a career night tonight, Don.
All right, 6:40 to go in the third quarter. Bulldogs keep the drive alive. The ball out now to the 48-yard line of the Auburn Bulldogs. They're close to crossing into the Beatrice territory. They're working out of that power I form. Fulton out wide to the right here. Pat Cheney over center for the Bulldogs. He takes the ball on a quarterback sneak, and Pat Cheney ahead for 6 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 4 for the Bulldogs. They're in Beatrice territory at the Beatrice 45-yard line.
Don, I'm not sure if that was a called play or not, or whether Pat just saw a big wide opening in the middle of the defense for Beatrice right there. You've got to kind of wonder whether he might have just taken a little initiative on his own to do that. You got to understand Pat Cheney and the way his mind works a little bit right there. If he wants to do something out there on the field, he'll probably just do it.
2nd down and 4 now for the Bulldogs. Under 6 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Bulldogs with a 12-point lead. Operating out of the power I, and a handoff to Chad Kelsey, I believe, on the play. And Chad with maybe a yard or 2 on the game, or on the play. We'll see where they spot this one. It'll be 3rd down and about 3 to go now for the Bulldogs, as they'll spot this one down at the 44-yard line. 5:40 to go in the third quarter. And again, the Bulldogs with that 12-point lead. It's 12-0. Fulton comes out, and Matt Unruh brings the play into Pat Cheney, the Bulldog quarterback. 3rd and 3. Again, Bulldogs running a lot of clock. It would be nice if they could get another score here. They need the first down. It's 3rd down and 3 from the Beatrice 44-yard line. Unruh is out wide to the left. Bulldogs in that power I. Grafton Kelsey, quick pitch back now to Holgrave. He's going to try to work outside, and they've got that one all stacked up. And Quint will lose a couple yards on that play. It'll be 4th down and about 5 to go now for the Bulldogs from the Beatrice 47-yard line.
I imagine we'll probably punt the ball right here. You know, when you've got 4th and 1 is a lot different than 4th and 7, which is what we're facing right here. So I'm sure the Bulldogs are going to punt the ball away this time, Don.
Okay, and quarterback Pat Cheney's over on the sidelines. Quint Holgrave in there. And right now, Jason Preble and Tim Holes back to receive the punt here from Quint Holgrave. The Bulldogs are unable to sustain the drive there, but they did get it out, and they should put Beatrice back. Got a flag on the play. The punt by Holgrave, another flag. High punt received by Holes, and he's going to be trapped in right around the 20-yard line. We had a flag thrown at the line of scrimmage and one thrown back where the punt receivers were. We'll have to let them sort this out, Bob.
Excuse me, Don. Strange place to have flags on a player like that. You had the guy in the defensive secondary throwing a flag and a guy back there with receivers throwing a flag. So what's the call, Don?
We're going to have to look at this one. I'm not sure what he called there. It's on the defense. It's on the defense here, Bob. We'll have to see. The Bulldogs are coming back up there where the ball was spotted.
Don, I think we've got too many players on the field for Beatrice again right there. I'm not sure what you called. I was trying to get a ruling from the coaches over here. We're next to the Bulldog coaches over here and some of the administrators, and they're obviously smarter than we are on what some of those plays are. We might get a first down out of this.
It's going to be pretty close. They're going to mark it off. It's going to be first down Bulldogs. They're going to bring this one down. There's 2 penalties here. Boy, they marked off 15 yards. And the ball down at the 32-yard line. There was 2 penalties on that play. And it's 1st and 10 Bulldogs. And Bob, another break for the Dogs here tonight.
Well, I'll tell you, I think the coaching staff and the players are really living right this season because this game right here, you know, we haven't got that many breaks this year, but boy, this game, we're getting a whole season's worth here, Don.
Okay, Bulldogs running out of the T formation with the receiver cutting across the middle and the pass and almost intercepted but dropped. That time out of the T formation, Pat Cheney tried to catch the tight end cutting across the middle there, and it was an incomplete. 2nd down and 10 for the Bulldogs. 4:10 to go here in the third quarter of play. Bulldogs up 12-0. Matt Unruh will bring in the play to Pat Cheney. Out goes Terry Fulton. Bulldogs with a 2nd down and 10. The ball spotted at the Beatrice 32-yard line. Bulldogs holding the ball here for quite some time. Be nice if they could get a score. They come out now in the power I formation with Unruh out wide to the left. Pat Cheney over center now. Comes back out of there and hands off to Tony Grafton. And Grafton again running tough. And Tony with about 5 yards on that play. They'll put that ball down around the 27-yard line of Beatrice, and it should be 3rd down and 5 for the Bulldogs.
Now we've got a couple options offensively that we're going to have to consider here. We're getting down close to 4-down territory with the ball sitting on about the 27-yard line or so right here with the 3rd down and 5 coming up. We get down there a little bit further, and we might be looking at Chad Kelsey maybe kicking a field goal because we know he's got the leg. He did it at Tri-County.
Okay, Bulldogs now in that I formation. Fulton out wide to the right. Cheney comes out of there, hands off to Hograve. Hograve goes off tackle, and he'll get inside the 25-yard line, close to the 23. He'll be short of the 1st down, maybe about a yard. Should be about 4th and 1, maybe a little bit longer. Unruh's coming in with the play, and Terry Fulton will come out the ball. Now they spawn it at the 24-yard line, and it's 4th and 2 for the Bulldogs, and they're going to go for it. And now the Bulldogs joining the crowd on here to get into the ball game. 4th and 2. Big play again. Bulldogs in that power I formation as Matt Unruh goes out wide to the left for the Bulldogs. Bulldogs in the power I. Hand off to Hograve. He bounces outside. And Quinn Hograve inside the 20. 1st down Bulldogs.
Boy, great run by Quinn Hograve that time. You know, Quinn Hograve's having a very good night right now, but he's not making as many yards as the first time we played Beatrice. But really, he's being a more effective back for us, Don, because he's gotten some tough yards when we need to. You know, sometimes I think people think Tony Grafton's the only kid that can get you those short yards when you need to. But boy, Quint's done some power running tonight, which we haven't seen a whole lot from him this year on. So it's good to see those backs running awfully hard like that.
Fulton out wide to the left again. Bulldogs in that power I. Kelsey, Grafton, and Hograve. Pat Cheney over center now. Cheney with the long count. 1st and 10 Bulldogs. He comes out of there, hands the ball off to Kelsey. Kelsey tries to get outside, and we've got a flag. He does get outside. He turns it up, and he may get 6 or 7 yards on the play, but we'll have to see what the flag was there with 2:23 to go here in the 3rd quarter.
You got to kind of think it's probably an illegal crackback block against the Bulldogs. That's what happens a lot of times on those wide sweeps like that when you've got the flankers coming back and blocking against the linebackers like that. Looks like clipping against the Bulldogs, Don. Tough break right there.
All right, that'll back them up 10 yards. It'll be 1st down and 20. And they'll certainly accept this penalty as Kelsey got outside and picked up about 8 yards. They're going to back the Bulldogs up here. And the ball spotted just inside the 20. That'll put the ball out close to the 30-yard line. Bulldogs up 12-0. Only 2:23 to go in the 3rd quarter. And this game is slowly getting away from the Orangemen. The Bulldogs able to control the ball here, and they'll bring it all the way out to the 33-yard line. It'll be 1st and 25 there on the 15-yard penalty for the Bulldogs.
What about that short screen to Quinn on this side? I'd like to see us try that again right there. It works. It's worked all year long, Don.
Okay, Bulldogs in the power I. Kelsey in the slot to the left. Fulton out wide to the left. Cheney comes back. Quick pitch to Hograve. He's going to throw. The halfback option. Strip matters open. Touchdown, Bulldogs. Unbelievable. And that play works almost every time. They didn't show that to Beatrice the last time they played them, Bob, but they showed it there. Glenn Hograve to Brad Strittmatter. A 33-yard touchdown pass. It's 18-0 Bulldogs.
Don, that didn't look anything like the halfback option pass down in Fall City that won the game, did it?
Yeah.
Great effort by the Bulldogs that time. Quinn Hograve, he takes that ball and he runs that halfback option about as well as anybody I've ever seen. Of course, we know Quint's a good athlete. He can throw the ball and run the ball and do a lot of things like that. But, man, he laid the ball right in there. And don't forget Brad Strittmatter's on the receiving end on that. Beatrice has dropped about 3 or 4 balls that Brad Strittmatter just caught right there.
Okay, Bulldogs will come up now and go for 2. They're in the power I with a couple tight ends in the game. Cheney comes out of their hands off to Hograve, and Hograve is in there. The 2-point conversion good, and the Bulldogs go up 20-0 with 2:15 to go in the 3rd quarter of play. We'll take a 30-second timeout.
Are you having trouble seeing the Auburn Bulldog football players on the field? Are they blurry around the edges? If so, call Drs. Karate and Karate today and make an appointment to get your vision corrected right away. Drs. Karate and Karate offer quality service and will have you back out there watching the Auburn Bulldogs with 20/20 vision. Drs. Karate and Karate are very proud of the Auburn Bulldogs, and they want to wish them the best of luck in the coming playoff games.
Welcome back to Auburn Middle School football field. The Bulldogs have just gone up 20-0 on the halfback option pass from Quinn O'Grave to Brad Strickmatter, the tight end. 33 yards. The two-point conversion was good, and the Bulldogs up 20-0 with 2:15 to go here in the third quarter. We've got 14 minutes and 15 seconds of football left. The Bulldogs now in control, but again, we still do have the 14-15 to go here in the ball game, and Beatrice looking to put the ball in the air probably from here on out, Bob.
Don, when you look back at the receivers, the kids that are going to return this ball for Beatrice, they're excellent athletes with great speed. We can't let up right now. We got to go down and knock them down right now.
Holes and Preble back, and again a squibber here picked up short at about the 25-yard line by 82 Williams, and he's going to be caught at the 25-yard line.
Brian Moody, what a hit by Brian Moody. He didn't smack him down like he usually does, Don, but he went down there like a wild man, and he wasn't going to let that kid get away, and he just pulled him right down like he was a rodeo steer wrestler out there. Great play by Brian Moody.
I'll tell you what, I feel sorry for Tyler Hawkins if this Bulldog defense gets fired up, because if he drops back to pass, somebody's going to be looking for his head. Just under 2 minutes to go now here in the third quarter of play. Bulldogs up 20-0. Kenton Peterson out here to the left, and there's three receivers over on the right-hand side, and they've got one back in the backfield. Come out and hand the ball off to Preble, and Preble dances and tries to work his way. He picks up about 5 yards. It'll be second down and 5 for Beatrice. The ball will be spotted just over the 30-yard line.
Don, I believe that's only the second time that Beatrice has run the ball out of that formation right out there where they have the four receivers and they got one setback. They'll usually throw out of that, but they ran the ball that time. We did a pretty good job of stopping it, considering we had our whole secondary covering on pass on that play.
Aaron Shigley in at one of the tight end positions for Aaron Shelton here on defense. And again, the Bulldogs with facing three receivers, and they hand off to Preble again, and now he gets into the Bulldogs secondary. He's looking to get outside of containment, but he's stopped at the 40-yard line, but he'll have enough for a first down. It'll be 1st and 10 for Beatrice, right around the Beatrice 40-yard line. 1:10 to go here in the third quarter. Bulldogs up 20-0, and Aaron Shelton goes back in the game. Aaron Shigley comes out at that tight end position. Coming close to a minute to go here in the third quarter. Bulldogs up by 20. Again, as we mentioned earlier, the winner advances and plays again. The loser of this ball game will be finished here for 1992. Three receivers out wide to the right. One to the left is Peterson. Preble, the only back. And Hawkins goes out quickly to number 12, right down the sideline now, and he cuts outside, and he's knocked into the crowd there. He'll pick up 6 or 7. And for Beatrice, that was Tony Belt. And that time Hawkins just with a little one-step drop, and he threw the ball out to one of the receivers on the right-hand side. It'll be second down and 3 for the Orangemen. The snow continues here. Temperature right around 30 degrees here in Auburn, Nebraska. Beatrice comes up over the ball. I think we're going to see this the rest of the way here, Bob. The one back, and they got Kenton Peterson out here isolated with Terry Fulton on the coverage. Three receivers over there on the right-hand side. Hawkins drops back and tries to get the ball to Peterson, and he throws it on the ground. It'll be incomplete. It'll be 3rd down and 3 now for the Orangemen.
Yeah, you know, they'd like to get the ball to Peterson out there. Peterson's got a little bit of a sore foot. He's had it all season long. Of course, most people out there realize that Kenton Peterson was the fastest kid in the state of Nebraska last year as a freshman, and truly an outstanding athlete. So he's a kid that scares me a lot out on the football field, Don.
Okay, Peterson comes out here. So far, Terry Fulton's done a good job with coverage on Kenton Peterson. Again, the three receivers to the right. Peterson out here to the left. Hawkins hands the ball off to Preble, and he is going to be stopped just short of first down yardage here, depending on the spot. He'll be about a half yard or so, maybe a yard short. And looks like the Orangemen are going to send in their punt team. We'll have to see here. 4th and about 1. Todd Moody comes in, Shane Sherman in for him, and apparently Todd bothered a little bit by the ankle there, Bob.
Don, do you think they're going to punt?
Well, they're not going to punt. They're going to come up over this one and go for it. And they've got that T formation in the backfield. Everybody in the Bulldogs up front on the line. Tyler Hawkins over center, hands the ball off, and Beatrice will have the first down as the running back gets about 3. Jason Preble. It'll be 1st and 10. And Beatrice moves in now to Auburn Bulldog territory. The ball spotted at the Bulldog 47-yard line. 4 seconds to go here in the third quarter. And now the clock runs, and that's going to be the final play of the third quarter. And at the end of 3, we've got 12 minutes of exciting football left. The Auburn Bulldogs lead the Beatrice Orangemen 20-0. We'll take a 30-second timeout.
Searcy Grain Company in Brownville wishes the Auburn Bulldog football team good luck in their playoff game this evening. For all your grain handling needs, see Searcy Grain in Brownville. Searcy Grain will handle your grain in a prompt, professional manner. Again, that's Searcy Grain Company in Brownville.
Next state senator.
Paid for by Episcopal
Auburn Middle School
Legislature.
football field. We're ready to start the fourth quarter of play here, and for all of your hardware needs, go to Murphy and Brown, just east of the stoplight in Auburn, where courteous service and quality go hand in hand. And Dobbs Furniture, for all your furniture and appliance needs, go to Dobbs Furniture and Appliance, just west of the stoplight in Auburn. We'd like to thank all the sponsors tonight, and we're ready for the fourth quarter, Bob.
Don, we're 12 minutes away from going into the next round of the playoffs right here with a 20-point lead, but I'll guarantee you nobody from Auburn, players or coaches, think this is a safe lead right here. Beatrice is moving the ball on us right now. This is going to be a real difficult fourth quarter for the Bulldogs. Even though we've got a lead, Beatrice is moving the ball. We're going to have to crank her up defensively.
All right, for triplets out here wide to the right. Peterson is over on the left-hand side of the field on the far side away from the press box, and Hawkins comes out of there. A little bit of pressure, the ball up in the air, the receiver open, and he drops it again. And boy, that time, number 30, Kenton Peterson, got behind Fulton, and he dropped it. And Tyler Hawkins, the quarterback, was just flat-decked, and he don't like it.
Well, I'll tell you, I don't know what to say. I'm getting tired of commenting on that, but that Beatrice kid just dropped the ball. He got in behind our secondary, and that Kenton Peterson, we've talked about his speed before, and besides that, he's a great athlete. He got in behind our secondary, and Don, the only thing you can say is he just plain dropped the ball right when he was about the goal line.
All right, again, the trips out here wide to the right. Peterson out to the left. It's second down and 10 now for the Beatrice Orangemen. Preble, the only back in the backfield, and Preble gets the ball on the handoff, and he goes ahead for about 5 yards. He's hit hard there and stopped. It'll be third down and 5 now for the Orangemen. Just into the fourth quarter of play here at Auburn Middle School football field, and the Bulldogs up 20-0.
Don, what makes this so difficult in defense for the Bulldogs right here is we know they're going to pass most of the time, but they're running the ball just enough to keep us honest up there as they did last time. Big play at 3rd and 6 coming up right now.
All right, again, the trips out wide to the right. Peterson is over there on the left-hand side. Fulton with the coverage on him. Tyler Hawkins comes over the ball, and again, they throw the ball out here to number 12, Belt, and he gets knocked out of bounds. And depending on the spot, it could be close to the first down.
I think you got the first down on that, and probably bigger than anything else, Beatrice is going to have to start utilizing the clock to their advantage, and they're going to run a lot of down and outs and try to get 5 and 6 yards, get out of bounds, get the clock stopped so they don't run out of time here. That's going to be something that could pose problems later because they just throw that real quick pass out. It's designed to get 5 or 6 yards, and the thing that scares you a little bit about that, how many more times are they going to run that before they do kind of a stop and go on that where they just do a fake pump to that kid and send him flying out for a long pass play, Don?
Okay, the ball spotted 1st and 10 at the Bulldog 36-yard line. 11:18 to go in the ball game. Beatrice again with the 3 receivers out here to the right. Peterson out to the left. Preble in the backfield, and there's a fumble on the play. Hawkins picks it up, though. He'll be dropped for a loss. And danger again eluded there by the Orangemen there as Hawkins fumbled the ball on the center exchange. It'll be second down and about 11 now as the ball's moved back to close to the 38-yard line, 38-yard line. Second and 11 for the Orangemen.
Good thing about it is the clock gets cranked up again. We're down just under 11 minutes right here, Don. Those of you at home, we're going to try to keep you posted on what the clock's doing right here because that's our biggest enemy right now.
Okay, same formation here for Beatrice. We'll probably see this. Trips to the right, Peterson to the left. Jason Preble, the lone setback and he gets the pitch from Hawkins, and he's strapped up. Now he cuts back upfield, and he gets away, and he'll get a few yards on that play. He'll pick up about 4 or 5 yards, and they had Preble, it looked like, dropped for a loss on the play, but he squirted around and picked up 4 or 5. It'll be third down now, Beatrice.
Don, real great effort by the Beatrice back, number 25 right there. By all rights, he should have been stopped at least at the line of scrimmage right there, but he broke about 3 tackles to get loose. And if you break 3 tackles against our defense, you've put forth a great effort.
Third and 5 now for the Orangemen. The ball at the 32-yard line, Again, that little quick out to Peterson, and Terry Fulton grabs Peterson. He may be close to the first down, but he didn't get away. Could be 1st and 10 now for Beatrice. 9:58 to go here in the ball game, and the Bulldogs up 20-0, and indeed a first down for the Orangemen, and they're going to spot that down close to the 25-yard line of the Auburn Bulldogs.
Don, this is a real impressive drive by Beatrice right here. They know what they have to do. They got to get in the end zone on this drive right here. They're taking it down the field. They're not trying to hit the home run. but they're just driving the ball right down on the field on us.
Hawkins over center now. He's going to drop back to pass. There's a little bit of pressure up the middle, and he's going to be sacked and dropped for about a 7 or 8 yard loss by the Auburn Bulldog defense.
Boy, great effort by Brian Moody, who I think we're going to have to give credit for the sack on because he brought the kid down. But boy, Brad Stripmatter was in there. Aaron Shelton was in there. I think David Grant was in there. We had a lot of kids in there right now. Boy, that was a big play right there because it keeps the clock running. A little bit, 9.5 minutes left, Don.
And if you follow the Bulldogs all season, you know eventually somebody's going to get in there for a couple quarterback sacks because Hawkins is going back about 75% of the time, dropping right back to pass, and sooner or later that's going to happen. And hopefully it'll happen a few more times. We're just coming down to the 9-minute mark here in the ball game. The Bulldogs up 20-0. What a defensive effort here by the Auburn Bulldogs this evening. And now Hawkins, there's confusion on the field, and we're going to have timeout. Beatrice will take a 30-second timeout. You're listening to Auburn Bulldog football on FM 105.5 KCOE.
Did you ever watch the fire trucks roar toward your house and wonder if your car title is safe in the kitchen drawer? Or watch storm clouds form and fret about Grandpa's watch hidden upstairs? At Carson National Bank in Auburn, we'll protect those valuables for just $4.50 a year in our safety deposit boxes. Come see why it's best to bank in Auburn. Carson National Bank, located in the Crestview Shopping Center in Auburn. Member FDIC.
Welcome back to Auburn Middle School football field. 8:59 to go in the ball game. Bulldogs with a 20-point lead. It's second down and 18 for the Beatrice Orangemen, and the ball spotted on the Auburn 33-yard line. And we just had a timeout here by Beatrice. They came up over the ball and were a little bit confused about what they were going to do now, and they had to take the timeout. They'll be ready to go. Again, 8:59 to go in the ball game. Bulldogs up 20-0. Second down, and 16 for the Orangemen. And they'll come back over here. Nobody in the backfield, and the pass thrown out there to Belt, and Belt's looking around. Now he gets free. He's running around in the middle, and the pursuit comes up now, and a great tackle. Great tackle there by number 31, Sean Gibbs.
Wow, that was a tremendous open field tackle by Sean Gibbs like that. And Don, I don't know about you, but I think if the Beatrice runner had cut up any time, he had the whole field open, but he kept running cross field. Don, I think they tried that pass out there, and they were going to try a double pass out there. I think that receiver was looking for somebody open in the end zone right there. Boy, Sean Gibbs just made a tremendous play to get that tackle right there. All the credit in the world to Sean Gibbs. Good effort.
Bob Belt had looked like maybe at least a 4 or 5 yard gain on the play. Then he dropped back, and I'll tell you what, Gibbs came in there and stuck him. And it's third down now and 17, a yard loss on the play. The Orangemen with the ball at the Auburn 33-34 yard line, about the 33, third and 17, the clock running with 8:15 to go. Tyler Hawkins comes over center. He's got the 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, and he throws out to Peterson again. And Peterson stiff arms Fulton, and Peterson running down. He's caught by Chad Kelsey, but Peterson will have the first down on the play, and he will be down inside the 15-yard line. And that's what makes Kenton Peterson so dangerous, is his speed. And Bob, talking earlier in the season to some other sports announcers that cover teams that Beatrice played, I thought maybe Peterson was one of these guys that just took off downfield and got behind the defense. But this is what Beatrice has done with him. Just get him the ball and let him run.
Yeah, he put a good stiff arm on our secondary player right there, Terry Fulton, and got about an extra 10 or 15 yards on that play with the stiff arm.
7:52 to go here in the ball game, and Hawkins hands off to Pribble, and he's hit hard. He'll have about a 3 or 4 yard gain on the play. The ball will be close to the 10-yard line. Should be about second down, and a 7 to go here for the Orangemen from the Bulldog 10-yard line. And now we have timeout on the officials here for a moment. Shane Sherman coming into the game now for the Bulldogs. 7:34 to go, and out comes Todd Moody. Again, it's second down and 7 for the Orangemen. They're on the Bulldog 10-yard line. 3 receivers here to the left, or right, 1 to the left. Preble with out to Belt here real quick, and Belt will go into the end zone and score. from about the 10-yard line, and Beatrice scores here for the first time in the ball game with 7:19 to go. And Bob, as you mentioned, they ran that play and ran that play and ran that play, and finally number 12, Tony Belt, is able to pick up 10 yards and get a touchdown.
Yeah, you know, we've got a 20-6 ball game right now, and of course the extra point coming up is a big play right now. I think it looks to me like I thought I saw a Beatrice kid carry a tee out there. Yes, they're going to kick it. At least they're going to line up to kick it right here. But of course you got to watch the fake here.
Okay, the 13-yard touchdown pass from Hawkins, and now we got a fake as Hawkins gets the ball. He's rolling out, looks in the end zone, and the ball knocked down. The two-point conversion, no good. And so with 7:19 to go in the ball game, the Auburn Bulldogs lead the Beatrice Orangemen 20-6. We'll take a 30-second timeout.
At Schneider's OK Tire Store, safety is the main concern. Schneider's OK Tire Store can supply you with tires for your car, pickup, truck, four-wheel drive, or farm truck, and they offer computer balancing. You can also get your four-wheel drive alignment done at Schneider's OK Tire Store. And if your car won't start without a jump, stop by Schneider's for a new battery. They also offer new shocks to keep your car rolling smoothly down the highway. Go to Schneider's OK Tire Store today, located at 2314 J Street in Auburn.
Welcome back to Auburn Middle School football field. The Auburn Bulldogs up 20-6 with 7:19 to go here in the ball game. If you want to sell or buy a house, contact Fireside Realty across from the courthouse in Auburn, Nebraska. And again, thanks to all the fine sponsors of Auburn Bulldog football. And Beatrice is set to kick the ball off to the Bulldogs. Back deep for the Bulldogs, Fulton and Hograve. They're standing on their own 19-yard line.
Don, I'd look for an onside kick right here. There's a lot of time left in this ball game, but Beatrice would like nothing better to get the ball back in their hands right now.
7:19 to go in the game. Again, the Bulldogs up now 20-6. We're waiting for the okay from the official, and the whistle blows. And the approach and a little squibber. And that one covered before it goes the 10 yards. And the Bulldogs pick that ball up in Beatrice territory at about the Beatrice 48-49-yard line. And the Bulldogs will start off here with good field position. And Bob, that's the downside of the onside kick, is you give the other team good field position.
Yeah, no question about it. But Beatrice almost was in a position where they had to do that. Like you said, Don, great thing about it is we've got the ball on the Beatrice 48-yard line, I believe is what it is. One thing I wanted to ask you about on that extra point that Beatrice is going for, the way they moved the ball on that drive, why would they try a fake on that? I mean, if they wanted to go for two, why didn't they just line up and run it? Because they've been getting at least 3 yards on every play.
That's right. Okay, Bulldogs up over the ball, 1st and 10 in the I formation. Kelsey to the left and Fulton out wide to the right. Handoff down to Tony Grafton, and Tony bulls ahead for 5 or 6 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 4 for the Bulldogs as Tony takes that ball down inside the 45-yard line. They'll spot it around the 44, and we have a Beatrice player down on the far side. Matt Unruh comes in now with the play, and Terry Fulton will come out for the Bulldogs. We have an official's timeout here for an injury.
Don, one looks to me like the Beatrice player over there, the way they're working on him, probably has a leg cramp in his calf. They've got his leg extended up in the air and trying to push back on his foot, which is usually an indication he's got a tight muscle down there. That's one thing we talked about earlier. I don't think you're going to see any of the Bulldogs cramping up here because Coach Strittmatter has his kids finely tuned as far as conditioning is concerned. And I would think when the game gets down to crunch time and we got a little bit less than 7 minutes left, if conditioning is going to play any role in this game, I like the Bulldogs' chances.
Okay, they're going to take the player off the field now with 6:48 to go in the ball game. The Bulldogs up 20-6, and the winner will advance on to a second-round playoff game next week, and the loser will end their season. Bulldogs with a 9-0 record. They're looking for win number 10 here. Kelsey is out wide to the left, and we've got Matt Unruh out to the right. Bulldogs in that I formation. Pat Cheney up over center. Everybody within 3 yards, and Cheney fumbles the ball or mishandles there, and he just goes straight ahead, and he maybe gets a yard or two on that play. And it'll be 3rd down and 4 for the Bulldogs.
Don, I think that was that quarterback draw again where Pat Cheney just receives the snap from Andy Tynan and tries to go ahead, but I think the ball was maybe bobbled a little bit on the exchange right there. Pat got a couple yards on that, or at least a yard on that. You know, if the exchange hadn't been bobbled, I think he might have gotten a 1st down on that.
Now we have another Beatrice player down on the field. We'll take an opportunity to tell you about the Flower Shop. For all your flower needs, go to the Flower Shop in Auburn, located at 2124 P Street in Auburn. And for great specials and good homemade cooking, go to the Corner Kitchen, just 1 block east of the stoplight in Auburn. And Bob, one of the most important ingredients of our Auburn Bulldog football broadcast this year has been our sponsors. And again, we'd like to take an opportunity to thank all the folks that sponsor Auburn Bulldog football while we have the injury time out here. And make sure you stop by and tell all of our sponsors thanks for bringing you Auburn Bulldog football here. And it especially becomes important here with the weather getting cold and many folks not being able to get out and come to the games because of the weather, or if the Bulldogs hit the road or that type of thing. So thank all of our sponsors and let them know you appreciate it.
Yeah, I particularly really appreciate that, because I guarantee you if I didn't have to do this broadcast, I'd be home putting a log on the fireplace right now listening to you on the radio. But duty calls, so I guess we're not going to get out of this one.
Okay, and the big crowd for the Auburn Bulldogs. Looks like everybody's still here. They're not going to leave early here this evening. Again, the Bulldogs up 20-6. 6:20 to go in the ball game, and they're still working on the player out here around the Beatrice 44-yard line. And we don't know what happened there. He was in the middle of the field, one of the linemen, and that's where the surge went. So it's hard to say what happened to this player, but they're working on him out here on the field. 6:20 to go in the ball game. Now Bulldog coach Strittmatter is going to go out there and see if he can offer any assistance.
Don, one thing to mention, and we never give them credit, the Auburn Rescue Squad always has their squad number 1 on duty right here, fully staffed by volunteer rescue squadsmen, and I don't think we're probably going to need a rescue squad here, but we've seen situations before where, we have had to take kids to the hospital, and one thing about it, if a kid gets injured at the Bulldog field in Auburn, we're going to get the kid to the hospital within about 5 minutes, because our squad's standing by, ready to go. That's one of the advantages to having a volunteer rescue squad, and you don't have to wait 30 minutes for a rescue call to get made.
Okay, again, with 6:20 to go in the ball game, they've called for a doctor out on the field, and it's 3rd down and 4 for the Bulldogs. When we get back to play, we'll go ahead and take this opportunity to take a 30-second timeout, and you're listening to Auburn Bulldog football on FM 105.5 KCOE.
Engraving Limited is proud to sponsor the Auburn Bulldogs in district playoffs. Engraving Limited, a leader in the awards and signage industry, invites everyone to their grand opening of their new building on Thursday, November 12th. Engraving Limited is now located straight west of the courthouse on 19th Street. For trophies, plaques, ribbons, medals, or an engraved family tree for Grandma, Engraving Limited is a sure stop on your Christmas list. Specialists in ADA-compliant signs, they also offer computerized graphics complete with raised pictograms and wording in Braille. Engraving Limited says, way to go, dogs!
Welcome back to Auburn Middle School football field. We've got a doctor on the field here, and we've got a player down. It looks like we may be calling for the rescue squad. And
Engraving Limited is proud to
come out on the field and meet with the doctor. The player's still down. We'll take this opportunity to let you know on Saturdays we have our KCOE Coaches Corner program at 9:05, and this week we're going to try to talk to Auburn Bulldog head football coach Dick Strittmatter, and hopefully Tecumseh Indian coach Rick Richard. Tecumseh Indians playing over in Tecumseh this evening against Palmyra, and they've already defeated Palmyra once this season. They should come away with a victory there and advance on into the second round of Class C2 football, we hope. Other scores from around our area. Falls City Sacred Heart won in Class D2 today. They extended their win streak to 48 games, and we don't have the score on that one. Southeast Consolidated went up all the way by the South Dakota border, and they lost 28-22 to Spencer Napier, and we'd like to congratulate them on their fine season this year. And then also Sterling, the defending Class D1 champion, they won by the 45-point rule in Sterling today against Verdigre. They won 46-0, and they called that one in the third quarter. And then Adams, the number 1 rated team in Class D1, just down the road from Sterling, they won their ball game 44-30, I believe, and that sets up a match between Adams and Sterling Monday evening, and that one will be played in Adams because they have the most playoff points, and both Sterling and Adams played at home, so Adams gets that home game. The two teams met earlier, Bob. Adams won that one 27-24, but that Sterling bunch, they're a tough bunch of kids, and it could be an exciting ball game.
Yeah, that's really amazing that you can have two quality teams like that so close together. You know, Sterling's going to be the road team on that situation like that. It's not very often you can go on the road in the playoffs and step out your back door and be at the football field, and that's about what we're going to have up there next week. That should be a rock'em sock'em ball game, and it should be real interesting. The Beatrice kids moving off the field right now, Don. They had the stretcher out at one time, but they pulled it off. It must be a leg injury or something like that. I think they might have put an air cast on him to kind of stabilize the leg a little bit, but I think he kind of hobbled off the field. So one thing you hate to see is injuries anytime, no matter what sport it is, no matter what team it is. So let's hope the Beatrice kid can come out of that all right.
All right, the clock rolls again here as we're ready to go. 3rd and 4 for the Bulldogs. They're in Beatrice territory at the Beatrice 43. We're coming close to 6 minutes left to go in the ball game. Bulldogs in the power I formation. Pat Cheney now comes up over center, drops back and hands the ball off to Quinn Hograve. He'll have the first down and more. He breaks free. Quick could go all the way. He's at the 20. He's at the 10. Touchdown.
Wow.
Quinn Hograve on a 3rd down and 4. With one of those most exciting runs that you'll ever see in high school football. Hograve with the touchdown. Bulldogs go up 26-0. And just as our feet and legs are iced out here in the 30-degree temperatures, that Hograve touchdown may have iced the victory here this evening for the Bulldogs.
May have iced a victory, and I think it warmed my toes just a little bit, Don. I feel a little bit warmer all of a sudden. That was a vintage Quinn Hograve run right there. We only needed 3 or 4 yards for the first down. We'd have been tickled to death just to get the first down, but Quinn Hograve never gives up until he gets in the end zone, until he's on the ground. Beatrice had 3 players that had the angle on him and possibly should have gotten him on that play, but you don't deny Quinn Hograve the end zone when he starts smelling it.
All right, 26-6 our score. Chad Kelsey in there now for the extra point. The snap, the kick, and the kick is up, and they call this one no good off to the right. Bulldogs lead 26-6 with 5:50 to go in the ballgame. We'll take another 30-second timeout. Stay with us, folks. It's exciting Auburn Bulldog football on KCOE.
The Home Place auction block, located at 1025 Central Avenue, 1 block west of the stoplight in Auburn, is having an auction on Monday, November 9th, starting at 6 p.m. They have furniture, appliances, a 1978 Ford Courier pickup and shell, 6 and 8-foot baseboard electric heaters, a snowblower, Christmas decorations, tools, antiques and collectibles, and many, many more items. Contact Colonel Roger Murr, auctioneer, at 274-5287 or 274-4581. That's the Monday night auction, November 9th, starting at 6 p.m. at the Home Place auction block. Listen to Tradio Monday through Friday at 10:30 a.m. on KCOE for updates on the Home Place auction block auctions.
And welcome back somewhere here in the state of Nebraska. 5:40 to go. Beatrice will come up over the ball now. The trips to the right. Kenton Peterson is out to the left there for the Beatrice Orangemen. Jason Preble in the backfield, and Tyler Hawkins comes back. Little pressure, flips the ball out there to Bell, and as soon as he catches the ball, he's hit by Hograve, but he'll have a first down, Quinn Hograve on the initial hit, but that completion good for about 12 yards and a first down.
Don, Quinn Hograve came up and did a good job of coverage on that pass play. We'll go ahead and give him those 8, 9, 10-yard pass
Throw
plays.
the ball out to Peterson, batted down, and almost intercepted over there by somebody on the defensive line.
Aaron Shelton.
All right, Aaron Shelton. They were going to try that quick pass right down the line of scrimmage to Kent Peterson. Shelton batted the ball up in the air, almost had the interception, and it is now 2nd down and 10 for the Beatrice Orangemen, and the ball spotted at the Beatrice 44-yard line. 5:05 to go in the ball game now, and the Auburn Bulldogs up 26-6. Beatrice comes up over the ball to the right. Kent Peterson out to the left. Tyler Hawkins will come over center now. 2nd down and 10 for the Orangemen. Drops back and tries to throw it out here to Belt quick, and Belt will get about 4-5 yards on the play, maybe 6, and we've got a flag on the play now, and they're probably going to call this one on the Bulldogs here. And that's unfortunate.
Don, I'll tell you, when a kid's going out of bounds, it's an awfully difficult decision to make for a defender on whether or not to hit him or not. And that kid was in bounds, and we hit him. There was an official right on that play right there, and he did not call it, but somebody came in from halfway across the field and threw their flag on it. And I guess that's kind of a tough break against the Bulldogs because this game is a long ways from being over. We've got exactly 5 minutes left. The clock won't start until the ball is snapped, and it's 26-6, 20-point game, but it's not over yet, Don.
Yeah, and that 15-yard penalty puts the ball down on the Bulldog 35-yard line after about a 5-yard gain. We've got timeout on the field, and I believe we have all of our ads in. We'll just keep it here from now on out. And again, the Bulldogs up 26-6 here. Beatrice will have a 1st and 10 at the Bulldog 35-yard line on that Personal foul on the Bulldogs. And Bob, again, the way these Beatrice guys can run and the way they've been running that play all night long, I don't know if I'm Coach Strittmatter, I'd rather than have them lay off, go ahead and make that hit and worry about whether the penalty gets called later.
Yeah, I think you have to play it the way the Bulldogs played it right there. You might get called for that once in a while. It's certainly not a dirty play. You just got to play lights-out football out there, go after the ball whenever it's live, and kind of a bad break to go against the Bulldogs. But let's see if we're made of the right kind of stuff to be able to bounce back from that. Beatrice has the ball on the 35-yard line. There's exactly 5 minutes left. The score is 26-6. The game's ours if we want to play with enough intensity to hang on and win.
5 minutes to go in the ball game, as Bob mentioned, 26-6. The Bulldogs up here by 20 with 5 to go here in the game. The winner of this ball game advances into the second round game next Monday, November 9th, somewhere. We'll let you know a little bit about that as the game gets on farther down. Hawkins with the handoff now to Preble. He tries to go off tackle, and he's met there by student body left. Now we've got a flag, personal foul. This one ought to be on Beatrice. Lots of pushing and shoving and talking going on there after about a 3-yard game. The Bulldogs ought to get their 15 yards back.
Let's not lose sight of the fact that the Bulldogs did a great job on defense right there. I believe David Grant made the initial hit. Brad Strittmatter came over. Shelton had to be in on that play right over there. Number 70 for Beatrice is a big offensive tackle, and he's been throwing cheap shots all night long out there, and it's just a matter of time before he got called for that. That play was over, Don. The kids were getting up, and he just came in and gave one of our kids a belt. To the credit of our kids out there, they didn't retaliate, which is a sign that we've got good kids and a sign of good coaching that they can keep their composure and not retaliate.
Well, and Bob, Jason Preble, the person guilty of the infraction, was thrown out of the ballgame here, and that's big loss there for the Orangemen. That's too bad. That has to happen anytime, but especially here in a playoff game. And now we've got a new running back in for Beatrice. It looks like Luke Cummings, I believe number 6, is going to line up where Preble did. It'll be second down and 23 now for the Beatrice Orangemen. The ball back out at the Auburn 47-yard line. Hawkins back to pass, lots of pressure. Throws the ball downfield. This could be intercepted, and it's picked off. We'll have to see if they call it an interception, and they do.
Chris Hammond got that interception.
Number 56, Chris Hammond. That time the Bulldogs had coverage all over that receiver, and Hawkins just threw that one out of desperation to avoid the sack. That wasn't a very well-thrown ball, Bob.
No, and unfortunately, he throws a beautiful ball, and probably the only poorly thrown ball he's had all night was that one right there. He was kind of running to his right. He was running out of room and was going to run out of bounds, and he knew he had to get rid of the ball, and when he threw it, he was off balance, and it looked like a dying quail up there. It's unfortunate for him, but a good break for the Bulldogs.
Bulldogs with the ball now at their own 20-yard line. 4:23 to go in the ball game. They lead 26-6 over the Orangemen. Handoff now to Grafton, and Grafton works it off tackle. And Tony Grafton ahead for 6 tough yards. They just can't bring him down here this evening, Bob.
Boy, Tony's on a mission tonight. He's just had a wonderful, wonderful night. Tony does a lot of little things out there on the field that you don't notice as far as following the play all the way out, carrying his fakes out when they're faking the ball to him, blocking. But tonight, boy, he's really carried the load for us offensively out there as far as getting those tough yards up the middle, Don.
Glenn Holgrave comes out of the game. Unruh and Fulton both go into the game. And we'll see what they line up here. They're going to put Chad Kelsey back at that I-back. Terry Fulton's going to line up as a wing back, and Unruh goes in as a tight end. Second down and 3 for the Bulldogs. Hand off to Chad Kelsey. Kelsey off tackle, and he's still on his feet. And he gets the ball out close to the 30-yard line, and a first down. We'll see where the spot is.
First down.
3 minutes and 30 seconds to go here in the ball game. First down, Bulldogs. They'll move the chains, and the Bulldogs keep the clock moving and the drive alive. 26-6 our score. Bulldogs up by 20 points.
Don, as you mentioned, we're up by 20 points. The key to the rest of the game is going to be, can we keep the ball moving on the ground, keep the clock moving, take our time, not do anything stupid out there on the field.
Okay, the ball spotted right on the 30-yard line of the Auburn Bulldogs. The clock moving now, 3:15 to go in the ball game. Matt Unruh comes out wide here to the left. Bulldogs in that power I. Fulton's at the wingback position. Kelsey at the I-back. Handoff now to Tony Grafton, and Grafton into the secondary, and he'll have close to another first down, and Tony Grafton running tough. Bob, it'll be interesting to see the final rushing totals for Tony Grafton this season.
Boy, Tony Grafton, like we've mentioned before, does so many great things for you out there on the football field. It just so happens tonight that what he's really doing for us is carrying the load offensively, getting the tough yards up the middle, not to take anything away from Quint or Pat or Chad Kelsey or anybody else out there offensively. But, boy, Tony Grafton is just not going to be be denied when he's going up the middle tonight, Don.
1st and 10 Bulldogs, the ball at the 40-yard line. We've got 2:45 to go in the game. Bulldogs in that power I. They've got 2 tight ends in the ball game now. Pat Cheney over center, and the handoff to Chad Kelsey out of the I-back position. And Chad Kelsey running tough, and he'll pick up about 4 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 6 from the Bulldogs. The ball on their own 44-yard line. 2:27 to go. This place is going to erupt, Bob, as the time runs out on the clock. If the margin stays like it is now, Bulldogs up 26-6. A 3-yard gain. Chris Hammond comes back into the game. Out goes number 76 in the game for the Bulldogs.
Greg Meyer, I think, has been in there for a number of offensive plays for us tonight. He's a senior guard who provides a lot of great depth for us on that Bulldog line, Don.
Power I with the 2 tight ends just coming into the 2-minute mark. Hand off again to Tony Grafton. Grafton was stopped at the line of scrimmage, and he powers ahead for about 5 yards. It'll be 3rd down and 2. Tony Grafton's been running tough all night long, and Bob, it's fair to mention that the Bulldogs are not a one-dimensional offensive football team here, and if the Beatrice Orangemen don't believe it now, they're never going to.
No, and I'll tell you who's ever scouting this game as far as next week's opponent and all that, either Wahoo or Omaha Gross, whoever we play, I think they're going to have a tough time coming up with an offensive or a defensive scheme to be able to stop us, because we know what Quint can do, what Tony can do, Pat can throw the ball. We got a lot of things we can do offensively, Don.
All right, we got timeout on the officials out here for an equipment problem for one of the Orangemen. 1:25 to go in the ball game. Bulldogs up 26-6. Stay tuned right after the end of the game here. We'll go ahead and let you know what's could happen or what is going to happen next Monday. As best as we know, there's 2 options, 2 things that can happen. And looks like the Bulldogs are going to wrap up their 10th win of the season and go for number 11 next Monday, November 9th. And we'll tell you where that one's going to be depending on the outcome of another game. We're all going to have to get everything packed up here, Bob, and head home and watch the scores as they come in over the TV stations tonight. Bulldogs up now 3rd down and 3. 1:25 to go in the ball game in the power I formation. Cheney comes out of their hands off to Chad Kelsey, and Kelsey ahead for the 1st down into Beatrice territory. 1:20, 1st and 10 Bulldogs.
Don, I'm sure that the Beatrice kids feel real low right now because obviously they're going to lose this ball game, but maybe they're not playing with quite the intensity they did earlier, but our offensive line is just blowing the defensive line of Beatrice right off the ball right there. We're giving it to our I-back, and he's getting hit maybe 2 or 3 yards beyond the line of scrimmage and just carrying guys with him as he goes along. So another sign of good conditioning by the Bulldogs, which should help us as we go through the playoffs.
All right, Bulldogs still in the 2 tight end formation, the power I in the backfield. We're under a minute to go. And things about ready to go nuts here. Cheney with the handoff to Tony Grafton, and Tony ahead for 5 more tough yards off tackle. It'll be 2nd down and 5. Our clock runs. The snow's still coming down here. Not much accumulation. 45 seconds to go in the ball game.
Don, one thing to keep in mind, and we're not going to dwell on it all night long, but this could have been a very, very tight ball game because of the breaks that happened. The Bulldogs have had a number of breaks happen, a couple calls that went our way that were very crucial. A touchdown called back by Beatrice. Beatrice receivers dropped a number of balls when they were wide open and had the end zone in their eyes out there. And so, that's what you have to have, though, when you're going through an undefeated season, is have the breaks go your way, and that's what's happened tonight.
18 seconds to go, 15 seconds. Hand off to Kelsey. Chad Kelsey ahead, close to a 1st down, 12 seconds. There's 10 seconds to go here in the ball game. And the Bulldog faithful getting wild out here at the Auburn Middle School football field. The celebration begins. 3, 2, 1. And the Auburn Bulldogs have won the opening round game here in the 1992 Class B Nebraska High School football playoffs, 26-6 over the Beatrice Orangemen. It's the 2nd victory of the season over the Orangemen, and the fans out on the field as the players congratulate each other out over around midfield, and the Bulldogs win 26-6. And Bob, we promised we'd let everybody know what could happen next Monday, so we'll go ahead and let you know what to look for tonight when you're watching TV. The Bulldogs are going to play the winner of the Omaha Gross Wahoo game on Monday. Should Omaha Gross win, the Bulldogs will play in Omaha on Monday evening. Should Wahoo beat Omaha Gross, the Bulldogs will have the home game here next Monday. It'll probably be a 7:30 game either way, because the way they do this thing is if you're the visiting team's more than 120 miles away from the home site, then you can play earlier. So we're probably looking at a 7 o'clock or 7:30 game on Monday. And as soon as the scores come over the wire here at the sports at 10 o'clock on the TV stations, you should know if Gross wins over Wahoo, the game will be in Omaha. If Wahoo wins, the game is here next week, next Monday.
Don, one thing to keep in mind, if Gross does win, it'll be in Omaha. If Wahoo wins that game, we'll have another game on this field here next Monday. But one thing people ought to really do over the next day or so, if you don't stay up and listen to the scores or you can't remember how this works out, I imagine we'll be broadcasting quite a bit over the radio station the next few days, about where the game is, the location of the stadium. I heard Mr. Beach talking about there's a possibility that if we do have to go to Omaha to play, that Omaha Gross plays some of their games at Omaha Benson's Field, which of course is way north in Omaha, in an older part of town. So we'll just have to wait and see where that game is assigned. We'll be broadcasting that over the radio station over the next couple of days. So just stay tuned, and we should be able to keep you informed on KCOE.
That's right, Bob. Jerry Beach, the principal out there at the high school, has been real good about getting us information. So if he gets us, when he gets us exact times and that type of thing. But as I mentioned earlier, we do know the site. If the game is won tonight by Omaha Gross with Wahoo, then the game will be in Omaha. And if Wahoo wins, the game will be here, as both the Wahoo and Auburn played at home on their first game, but Auburn has more playoff points, so the home game will be here for the Bulldogs. And Bob, looking at the scoring tonight, the Bulldogs played tough defense all night long. They haven't given up very many points here on their home field. The scoring in the first quarter, the Bulldogs scored one in every quarter. Hograve scored from 3 yards out with 3:55 to go in the first quarter. The extra point was no good. That touchdown coming after a Beatrice fumble. The Auburn scored in the second quarter with 1:21 to go. Hograve caught a 15-yard touchdown pass from Pat Cheney on a screenplay. That thing's worked pretty good all season long. The two-point conversion, no good. Then in the third quarter with 2:15 to go, Brad Strittmatter caught a 33-yard touchdown pass from Quinn Hograve on the halfback option. This time the two-point conversion was good, and at that time the Bulldogs were up 20-0. Beatrice scored next with 7:19 to go in the fourth quarter, and Ryan Belt scored on a 10-yard touchdown pass from Tyler Hawkins. The two-point conversion was no good. Bulldogs got one more in with 5:55 to go. Quinn Hograve broke a 43-yard run after a lengthy delay out here on the field because of the Beatrice injury. It was third and about 3 yards to go, and Quinn took it in from 43 yards out. Final margin of victory, 26-6. And folks, you've got to remember, next week if the Bulldogs have to play Omaha Gross, Gross is the largest school in Class B, and I know everybody's been talking about that, Bob. And you got to remember, Beatrice is the second largest school in Class B, and Omaha Gross's enrollment is only about 20 students more than Beatrice. So you're not talking about some big monstrous school that's got thousands and thousands of kids. They're a Class B school, and the point I would like to make is a point I made out here before the first Beatrice game back in the fifth week of the season. I was talking to some folks, Bob, and I thought at that time that the Beatrice team, they're good, and there's no doubt about it. And tonight here, this game could have been a lot different. But I don't know if overrated is the word. Maybe over-touted is a better term. I thought Beatrice was over-touted, and I honestly believe that Omaha Gross, despite the Metro Conference schedule they played, I do have a feeling they may be a little bit over-touted. But the problem is we got to go up there and play them up in Omaha if they win tonight.
You know, I don't think that's going to be a problem at all. We got through the first round of the playoffs. We've never been in the playoffs before. I think this game, obviously, if you lose in the playoffs, you're done. And to get this game under our belt right now, I don't think is going to be a real big factor for us going up there to Omaha. Our kids have been out in Nemaha County before, and I don't think that's going to bother them a bit, Don. A couple closing comments that I wanted to bring out. Number one, both the Lincoln paper and the Omaha paper had Beatrice picked as dark horse candidates to go all the way this year, and I think maybe in the playoffs, and I think maybe that's what you might have been making a little bit of a reference to about maybe being a little bit overrated or whatever. I don't know if maybe people didn't take the win seriously that we got in the middle of the season against these guys. I think if there's a dark horse in these playoffs, it's got to be the Auburn Bulldogs. The other thing that I think is important is as we sit here right now, I'm sure all the other games are over. Maybe the ones out west have a little bit to go, but there's only 8 teams left in Class B, Don, and no matter what happens the rest of the season, I think we have to be given very serious consideration for a very high ranking, no matter what happens next week. So I just think that we got an awful lot to be proud of with these kids out here. The coaches have done an outstanding job, and we're obviously one of the top, in my opinion, 5 teams in Class B. Who knows? We might be the best team in Class B. We'll just have to play them and find out.
And Bob, tonight with the 10th win of the season, these Auburn Bulldogs of 1992 have the best record of an Auburn Bulldog football team ever, the most wins ever by by any Auburn Bulldog football team, and they will continue to make their mark in Class B football, hopefully next Monday night, November 9th, either here against Wahoo or up in Omaha versus Omaha Gross. And Bob, thanks a lot for joining in. It's been an exciting evening of football here at Auburn Middle School football field. Hopefully we'll get back here for at least one more home game this season, and definitely this year the championship in Class B is played on the team that's farthest east, so if the Bulldogs can put together a couple more wins, we'll be playing here for the big one.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, Don. It's been great working with you again tonight. Hopefully we've got 3 more games to work together this year, and then we can take the winter off or at least a few weeks off and get ready for basketball.
All right, thanks a lot, Bob. We'd like to thank all of our sponsors again, and thanks to Sherry back in the studio this evening for running things for us really well. And we're going to take this opportunity to send it back to the studio. Stay tuned to the KCOE Local Sports Report tomorrow. We'll keep you updated on where the Bulldogs are going to play as soon as we know and that type of thing. Bulldogs win 26-6 over the Beatrice Orangemen in the opening round here of the 1992 Nebraska High School Football Playoffs. 26-6, our final score. Thanks for joining us this evening. Good night.
Thank you for joining us this evening for Auburn Bulldog football on KCOE. We would like to again thank our sponsors of tonight's game. They are the Home Place Auction Block, Engraving Limited, Snyder's OK Tire Store, the Carson National Bank, Doctors Crotty and Crotty, the Auburn Auto Supply, Hemingson's, the Dairy Suite, Hardee's, Glen Drug, the Auburn Sports Boosters Club, 4 States Office Products, the Sports Shop, Brad's Hinky Dinky Pharmacy, the American National Bank, Thomas Distributing, Auburn State Bank, Auburn Insurance Center, the Corner Kitchen, the Flower Shop, Fireside Realty, Dobbs Furniture, and Murphy & Brown. Our thanks also to Don White and Bob Engles for bringing us the live play-by-play, and to Sherry McCall for our engineering in our KCOE studios. Thanks again for joining us.